This is our first episode. Are we live, Julius? Yo, we're officially live. This is separate bedrooms with Natasha and Eddie Huang. This is my fiance, Natasha. She's gonna be Natasha Huang in like how many days, babe? 25 days.
Like a month.
In a month.
Yeah, in a month.
By the time this episode comes out, she will be a Huang, you know? And then we got Evan. Evan's here.
He's already a Huang.
He's already a Huang.
He's already a Huang.
Yeah. And like Evan is on the pod because he just arrived back from China after 3 years in the pandemic.
4 years.
4
years. I was out there for a total of 4. Pandemic hit year 2.
But I've not seen you in 3 years. Yeah. This is my first time seeing Evan in 3 years live on the pod. Separate bedrooms. Welcome. It's eventful, very eventful day, very eventful moment. We got family back. We got new pod. We have new pod. Show them the new pod.
We got new P in the pod.
New P in the pod. There's a baby in there.
There's a baby in there. And like, I feel like we started this podcast because we have like so much going on in our lives. And like, a lot of our friends are like in new moments of their lives. And it's just like, it's fun to fucking talk the shit and document it.
Yeah.
You know, like today we went to the doctor and the baby was moving for the first time.
Yeah.
What week are we at, babe?
We're 11 weeks and we have a party baby.
Real party baby.
The baby is like partying.
Dancing.
Yeah. There's like a lot of shit happening in there.
Gender reveal is a boy. We saw Deke.
It's a boy, but so blood test said boy, but the ultrasound tech today said girl.
Wait a minute.
But it's also early. Like it's 11 weeks. You can't really do the ultrasound confirmation until 20 weeks. But she was like, because I had the blood test, she was like, do you already know? And I was like, yeah, I know. And she was like, don't tell me, let me guess. And I was like, okay, I'll let you guess. And she was in there she was going around doing her thing, getting all the angles for like 3 minutes. Like we were silent for 3 minutes. And she was like, it's a girl. And I was like, no, it's a boy.
Evan, did you want a niece or a nephew?
I didn't really have any preference. I'd be pretty excited about either.
Since you're on a podcast and you should choose one so it's a more entertaining podcast, what would you choose?
I feel like a girl would actually have been really good for you personality-wise.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
To like level out Eddie's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
But a boy is dope because we like for sure guaranteed to have another Redskins fan. And we have
Commanders.
Commanders.
He's been in China. He missed the whole.
What had happened?
You can't say.
Can't say.
You can't say that.
Yeah, now that we're back
it's
in
the
America,
Commanders.
It's the Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. So we would have a new Commanders fan, Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Knicks player. It could be a Knicks player.
Well,
I think you're like underestimating.
I was about to get to that. Like,
have you seen how tall Natasha is?
Yeah, but you're
like,
putting so
Natasha's
much pressure.
athletic.
This is also my child, and I think that the idea that they might like sports, like you can't get ahead of yourself.
They're gonna love sports.
Maybe.
They're gonna love sports.
Should we get this kid a cart? Should we have him go karting?
Maybe.
Future
I feel like
F1
this might be an
driver?
F1 driver.
Could be.
Future
Could be an
F1
F1
driver.
I feel like this is a race car driver. This is
Could
no.
be a Nick.
Yeah,
I don't think we want this child to play football. No. I like watching football.
We're good on CTE.
We're good on CTE. Like, don't need it. We already have a chlamydia scare, you know? So, like, we don't need to add CTE to this.
Yeah, we don't need CTE.
Right?
We don't need. But I'm cool with the kid wanting to box.
I like boxing.
Like we spoke
Boxing's
about,
great.
we talked about that when we like first started dating. So our first date was boxing. And I was like, if you had kids, like, would you let them box? Just because it's so rough.
Yeah. But self-defense.
But I'm like, I'm into it. I'm like, I want you to glove up.
Yeah, I think it's
male or
pretty
females, boxing is a good thing.
Yeah,
Yes, 100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
What did you want? Did you want a boy or a girl?
I tried not to have an opinion on it because I was like, I don't want to be disappointed. Like, I didn't want to get like my hopes up for one or the other. And I honestly had no intuition. Like I had none. There was nothing in me that I was like connecting and I was like, this is a boy or this is a girl. But everyone, like my mom was like, it's a girl. Yeah. And everyone, I feel like the general consensus was everyone wanted it to be a girl.
Yeah, I wanted a girl too.
Yeah.
Even though growing up, I always wanted a boy because I was like, oh, you got another homie. We can play sports together. Like it's that simple when you're a boy. And then I was like, I got shit to teach him. But as I watched my best friend Raph raise his daughter and like how sweet their relationship is, and how different they are, I was like, damn, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Because he's like learning shit about himself.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like a daughter reflects a lot of different things back to a man that you just like don't realize. And then I have other friends that have daughters that are like, you just start to understand like women's emotions more when you're watching a woman grow up. So I was excited, but it doesn't surprise me that it's like, you got another boy, like in our family.
Yeah. I started to think about it after, and I was like, I mean, it just, for me too, and my personality makes more sense. I'm like, I need to be like the center of attention. I need to be like, I'm the girl, and like, it's all like, I'm the one that's getting like the princess treatment.
Yeah.
So then I was like, if this was another girl, that would go
Competition.
away. Now I'm like, oh, it makes
Competition has
perfect
entered the
sense. The
room.
universe was like, we're giving you a boy because you're like,
Because then you'd be like the old queen, and then there's the princess.
I would,
Now
I
you
would
can,
literally be so. I would be giving like Jennifer Coolidge, like I would just be like the old hag in the villa, and they would be like, me. There's a guy who might want to talk to you.
I feel like you're never gonna be hag. You don't have like hag energy.
No, for sure.
Some people is like hag from day one.
Yeah,
You know.
but I also feel
Born
like
hag.
Pray for
just
those
like
people.
even the choice of dog that we got Dobermans.
Yeah.
They're like so high energy, and the more I think about like the choices we've made and just the energy we attract in our life, I was like, oh, we weren't gonna get like a sweet little girl who was gonna be quiet and play with dolls.
No.
Like we were gonna get a destructive little boy who wants to like do shit.
Yeah, we attract fun, chaotic,
Yeah.
like cute, toxic energy. Do you know what I mean? Like I think
Diet
we do.
toxic.
Like diet toxic zero energy.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like even today, like you for real thought you had you thought I gave you chlamydia.
I did.
You didn't even wait to talk to me. You were just like in the notes app.
I didn't.
writing
Well,
shit,
because if you're
accusing
pregnant
me.
and you're sitting with your doctor and they're like, they're like, we have to test you for chlamydia. And I was like, what? Why would you test me for chlamydia? And then he's like, okay, I have to go, and like leaves the room. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like naked on a table, like covered in gel. And they're like, you have chlamydia. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, why do you think I have that? So immediately I'm like, in my notes app, I'm like, you know what, Eddie, like this is so fucking crazy. Like I didn't have chlamydia when I met you, and now I'm pregnant and I have chlamydia. And then he gets back in the room and he was being so elusive about it. I was like, dude, like why would you test me? Why do you think I have chlamydia? And he was like, no, we just have to test you. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, well, it's just I just have to. Like you had gonorrhea screening, but we didn't do chlamydia, and I need to know. And I was like, do you think I have chlamydia? And he was like, no.
See, if I was him, I would have.
I was like, why are you being so mellow about it?
I would have just fucked with you if I was him. I'd be like, a lot of our patients, like their partners give them chlamydia around the second trimester.
Yeah, just when things start slowing down, like people get bored.
Yeah,
you get a little tired. Your partner like walks out on you and starts.
Yeah, like you're a little tired. You're not open for business, so like they call him the sixth man. But no, like I'm with you all day. I have no time to acquire chlamydia and then, pass it to anyone else. I just don't have time. We don't have time in this.
There's always
You got
time.
my calendar, Julius. Like
There's always time. Like there's always time.
It takes a long time to find somebody with chlamydia,
In LA?
acquire, and then like pass it on.
In Los
I don't have
Angeles,
time.
California, it takes a long time.
Dude, I don't even eat bread. I don't even have time
I
for breakfast
guarantee you,
anymore.
you
God,
have
like,
friends right now that have chlamydia.
yeah. I mean,
It doesn't
my
take a
friend,
long
If
time.
you look at my friend, they all look like they have chlamydia.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm
potentially.
good. I don't have chlamydia.
Yeah.
But we don't know that for sure yet.
We haven't got the results
The
yet.
results
That's all
are
I'm
not
saying.
in.
Is
Bro,
the results
the
are not
Caesars
in.
app,
Jury's
last
still
time
out.
I used the blood test, no chlamydia.
I
nothing.
mean,
I'm
I
sure.
don't have gonorrhea for sure.
I have like
so that's-
MSG. That's pretty
We're
much
good
it.
on
I got high
that.
sodium. I got MSG in my body.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do the results come out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I would like
This
to know
doctor
the
gives
results
no
of the
information.
My
Information.
next appointment's March 10th, so maybe we'll know on March 10th.
So we have to
I
wait till
chlamydia.
March 10th?
Yeah, I might just be
That's
walking around
brutal.
with chlamydia.
That's brutal.
Nobody has. This is like a formality. They call it a formality.
It is, but we still don't have the results. So I think until then, it's like innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, I'm innocent.
I have chlamydia until
I'm
I
innocent.
don't.
You're innocent.
I have
You don't have
chlamydia
chlamydia
until I don't.
They did not tell you have chlamydia. They just like this is something we should check for.
We'll see.
Yeah. You ever had chlamydia?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Left untreated for many years.
The Huang guys are very faithful. We're a very faithful family. Very faithful.
Very.
The first
If you
time.
don't count my dad, very
I'm just looking at you. I'm like, wait, word?
Like, what do you mean?
We just straight lying on this cast?
I'm trying. I'm holding it down for dad. I'm holding it down for dad. But yeah.
It's okay.
At some point, you can't keep protecting your dad.
It was a different time.
It was a
a different time.
It was a different time. It was literally another millennium.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Country
Things were
clubs in
different.
Orlando get crazy.
Yeah.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
You were the one that found the evidence.
Stop.
Did I? What?
Yeah, you found the evidence in the tennis bag.
You know about that?
Emery's the biggest fucking gossip
Damn.
ever. Of course, Emery told me. But I found out 10 years late because I didn't care in high school. I was like, yeah.
It wasn't even a brand. It was like some lambskin joint.
Oh my God.
I was like,
That's
the
very
fuck
fancy.
is this?
A lambskin.
Yeah.
That's nice. He's considerate. He was like trying to make sure it was pleasurable for
That's
her.
like there's no protection for
No,
STDs
actually,
or
that was
anything.
inconsiderate to mom, but more considerate to
He literally
his
just
tennis partner.
He literally just pulled out a sausage wrapper and was like, "Yo, yeah,
Hey, it's good enough for a sweet Italian. Good enough for me.
merguez."
No, it's just sausage casing, like sweet Italian sausage.
It might have been reused. We don't know.
I don't think.
You
Was
may
it
have
used? He
reused
found it.
No, it was
Ask
not.
him, bro.
It was not
This dude
used,
has the
but it was
evidence.
like in the bag for sure. And it's like, temperature in a car in Orlando, Florida, that shit gets like super hot. So this joint does not work.
But I remember when
Well,
Emery
okay,
told
but
me.
if it wasn't used, we don't. There's no innocent. Like
He could have just been like
He's innocent.
getting ready.
He could have just had a condom.
It could have
on
been
him.
a
Entertaining.
promotional thing.
Yeah.
Like how, people were giving out like CDs back then, like promotional.
Yeah, no.
True.
People
Compact
gave out a
discs.
lot of
The AOL,
Yeah.
American
I
Online.
It could've
also
been
gotten a lot
promotional
of
condom.
condoms. Like I remember randomly, like turning 18, and like people would be like, there was like jars of condoms places. Like
Yeah,
even in my
totally.
high school, they were like had like a jar of condoms in the
Yeah.
nurse's office. They were like, if you're gonna fucking do it, like
They would encourage you. They would encourage you.
do it nice.
Yeah, here's a condom and a number
Be
2
safe.
pencil.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
in Dad's
yeah.
defense, there has been never hard evidence.
There's no evidence. Of
But
it.
this is when Emery told me about this. My first thing was like, dude, why did you say anything? Why did you bring it up? You should have just like, it's like, look.
I don't even remember
Like
s-
everyone else in our family.
I don't even
has.
remember telling Emery anything about this.
Bro,
It got to me. You definitely told somebody.
Damn.
that's how like secrets travel in families though. I remember I was on a car ride with a family member, and it was just like a normal, like we were just driving, we were like gonna go get dinner, and this person just turns to me and they're like, they exposed a cheating scandal within my family.
Oh, wow.
And I expecting me to have known. Like she was like, the person was like, you didn't know? And I was like, why would I know? Why would I assume? I didn't know. But people be dropping shit, like just randomly. You're like going
Really
to get dinner and all
inconsiderate.
of a sudden you're like, wow.
Bro, it was funny. Evan's like, guys, Dad's cheating on Mom. Me and Emery are like, bro, he has all over print Versace pants on, blue lens Cartier frames. Mom's yelling at him all the time. Weird women call the house. I'm like, yeah, like we know, bro. You didn't need to like come with the evidence. Like there's a condom.
I would like to
There's a
reiterate that
condom.
it's alleged.
It's alleged.
alleged.
It's alleged.
Hold on, but I don't even
No.
remember telling anybody.
Maybe Emery made the whole thing up.
I don't know.
But no, it happened. So he told somebody.
Yes. Hun, so then did you tell
Carmen
Mom?
San Diego over here.
Did you tell Mom? Where in the world
I'm
is
trying to hold
Carmen
it down.
San
Bro, if I
Diego?
pick up the
Family
phone
right
and
now.
some weird lady call, I just hang the phone up. Because I was like, y'all talk amongst yourselves. This is like, it's not my job to expose anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you doing right now?
Except my wife's chlamydia.
I'm like, it's not your job, but you gave me chlamydia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's funny. They sleep in
Like
separate
father,
bedrooms
like
too.
son.
No. I'm nothing like my dad. I'm more like my mom. I'm much more
All
like
of the
my mom.
allegations are.
Alleged.
Who's
Allegations.
more like dad?
Me,
Yeah.
probably. But ain't no. There's no evidence. All
No.
allegations.
Yeah, it's all
Everything is hearsay.
Hearsay. We would call this
Hearsay.
hearsay.
Yeah.
The Esquire would know.
Yeah, hearsay. I represented you in teen court.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did you go to teen court?
I brought a knife to school, and then it fell out during band practice.
No. You were
And then-
threatening the kid that was talking shit to you.
No,
You were like,
I hated Joey Zielinski. Joey Zielinski, if you're out there, we're cool now. But at the moment, I hated
yo,
you.
fuck Joey Zielinski.
And it was a pocket knife. It was a red Swiss Army pocket knife with a Boy Scout logo on it. And I'm sitting there with my hand in the French horn, and the joint just drops out of my pocket. And he's like sitting behind me, Joey, and he's like, "Oh, you got a knife!" And I picked it up and I threw it in my pocket, and I looked at him. I was like, "If you tell anybody, I'm gonna fucking kill you." And he just jumps up and starts screaming at the top of his lungs in the middle of class. And then I got arrested.
Like from school, the cops
From
came
school,
and like
but,
arrested you at school. How old were you? Like what grade was this?
I was 12? 7th grade?
Okay,
7th grade,
yeah. So you were like
Bro, he
almost
was like the
a
youngest
baby.
kid at teen court.
Yeah.
And it just so happened I was doing community service at teen court, and he came in, and I was like, "Oh, I'll represent him."
So Eddie's community service was part of his sentence for a fight,
Yeah.
for like an assault charge.
Yeah.
And then
And he walked in.
I was in there.
They're like, oh, you're representing your brother.
It was ridiculous because when the school resource officer took the knife, he put it on the copy machine and he pressed enlarge like 5 times. So
to make it bigger.
To make it bigger. So it looked like a freaking like hunting Bowie knife. When I got to court,
I'm gonna start
it
doing
was
that with my dick pics. It's enlarged.
You're sending them because that's how you got chlamydia. Sick.
But I go to court and it's like the whole 8.5 by 11.
Damn.
And like the judge holds it up. He's like, "You brought this to school, son?" I was like,
Yeah.
"No, that's
Why
a
didn't
lie."
they take the knife? Like they didn't take the knife for
They took it.
evidence.
They
and then-
took it.
So did they have it? I would have been like, bring the actual knife out. Like
Exactly.
this is crazy.
But at the end of the day, like you're judged by a jury of your peers, and
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
peers are also fellow
Fellow teens.
teen court
Yeah.
convicts.
Yeah, so they're like, fuck this.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you're
so
good.
like the minimum sentence was like something like, I don't know, 12 hours of community service up to like a couple hundred.
Yeah.
And they gave me like right in the middle.
Oh.
And then after you get sentenced, you go into the jury pool into a room, and then you become a juror for the very next case.
Oh.
So I go in and I'm like, "What the fuck, guys?"
That's why they did that to you, because they're all pissed off that they just got sentenced and now they're in yours.
They're a
and they were
little
like,
sour.
fuck this kid. Yeah.
So I go in and I look at the room. There's like 10 of them in
Yeah.
there. I'm like, "Why the fuck did you guys give me so much community service?" And they're like, "You look like you might have stabbed that kid." I was like, "Word, I'll take that. I'll
But I
take
did
that."
good. I got you off the max.
Yeah.
And I remember my strategy was not to talk about the legality, but just like, yo, guys, come on, like you would do this too. You would do this too. Come
No.
on. This guy Joey's talking fucking mad shit.
Eddie did a great job because at the end of it, the judge was like, "Son, if you get your life together, you could have a future in law."
Yeah.
And he became a lawyer.
I listened to him.
He became a lawyer.
The judge was quite impressed with my argument for him. It was nice. That was the beginning of me being like, oh wait, I could do law shit.
Yeah, it really was.
It was cool.
Shout out to Teen Court.
Yeah. But then I got a herniated disc and it hurt too much to sit at a desk, and I started selling weed.
Yeah.
It was just better for my back, to be honest. It was more about like physical health. You know.
Self-care.
Self-care. So I was very
Did you
early
ever
on
like
self-care
write to
when-
that judge after you became a lawyer? Like, did you ever reach out and you were like, you changed?
I think my dad kept in touch with him somehow, because my dad was like, "You believe he could do something good with his life?" Like he was like, "Oh my God, keep in touch." And I think I may have reached out to him to write a recommendation for like law school like application, but that was the last time. It was cool.
Yeah, Teen Court honestly was a good experience.
It was
I
good.
thought it was cool.
And it was just hilarious because they were like, "You guys are a family."
Yeah. You're a family of criminals.
For like 3 weeks, it was like every Thursday night, me, Evan, and Dad were just at Teen Court.
You're like, yeah, let's go to Teen Court and then we'll like get a pizza.
Yeah, the Pizza Hut deep dish joints.
I remember when I got picked up from juvenile detention center, dad picked me up and I was like, "Where are we going?" He's like, "Put your shoelaces back on your shoe, act normal. We're going to the Chinese community center." He's like, "I got a business association meeting. Don't embarrass me." And I was like,
Put your
"Word."
shoelaces on.
Because they make you take those joints out so you don't choke anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I showed up and the first thing I said, I was like, to like Uncle Peter's kid, he
Yeah.
was there. I was like, "I just came out the clink."
I almost stabbed somebody with the French horn.
Man, it was funny.
So fucking good, man. But I feel like we've done enough fucked up shit. I think our kid is gonna look at it and be like, dude, I don't want to be like these people. You know?
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna have like a nice child.
Yeah,
that will
gonna be a
balance
Virgo.
our energy out. Yeah, Virgo.
9/11, baby.
I don't know. There's not a lot
Zero.
of fucked up shit that we've done. It's all like mischievous.
Aw, you mischievous.
Yeah, same.
I don't
was
think
just
that-
a mischievous kid.
Mischievous.
I think the
Never
kid
got
will
in
just
real
look at it
trouble.
and be like amused,
Yeah.
not like ashamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like our family was a little crazy growing up, so we all kind of acted out.
I think our family definitely more crazy, and like especially you and I have probably made a more concerted effort to be like emotionally, we do not want to be like that.
Yeah,
Right?
less crazy.
Yeah.
Emery
Much
kind
less.
of doubled down on crazy. He was like, yo,
Emery's improving.
I
Emery,
need
cause Emery came from a very high level of crazy.
yeah.
In his youth.
But I will say, I'm not, it's no shade. I think Emery is preserving the culture and tradition of crazy. You know, like he's
Yeah.
preserving his Chinese identity more than us. He
Yeah.
lives in China.
No,
and he's preserving crazy.
Compared to where Emery was in like middle school, high school, his temper, anger management, all that stuff, way better. Way better.
It's like there's much more organized crazy. It's like
Yeah.
the Tao of crazy.
I think he's just more so frustrated with the world, and a lot of
Yes.
his anger gets channeled that way.
Yes. In comparison to the world, Emery is not so crazy.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
That's fair. It's a
Yeah.
crazy world.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, my parents also sleep in separate bedrooms. It's pretty. When did they start doing that?
When Dad started snoring, probably.
See, that's what I
Like,
said. I was
yeah.
like, dude, we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, it's so, like, after you've been married, how long have your parents been married?
A minute.
Like,
I don't-
like over 20 years.
For
You
sure.
got,
No,
like,
over
40
like almost 40 years.
40
right?
years.
Yeah.
Dude, after 40 years and somebody's snoring, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
We're
this.
not
40
talking
years
this.
of bad sleep?
I hate to break it to you. I wouldn't say snoring,
oh,
but
oh.
you'd be making some static breathing noises.
Yeah, you also talk.
and
You
I
also
still-
say wild shit in your
I do?
sleep all the time. You'll be like,
Like
"Shut
what?
the door! I can't stand you." And I'm like,
What?
"You talk?
this
No,
up.
I
You're making this up.
swear
You're
to
making
God,
this up.
I swear to God, you
Is she
talk."
putting on for the
No,
pod,
no,
or
no,
is
no.
this
He
guys,
guy?
talks
this is-
so
this
much
is a
in
bit
his
for the
sleep.
pod.
He talks so much in
This
his
is a bit.
sleep. You will be. I don't know if you're dreaming. I don't know what's going
What
on,
do I
but you
say?
talk all the time. Because
Right.
you'll like wake up and go to the bathroom, and I'll wake up too, and then you'll go right back to sleep. And then I'm up. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm up, bitch. So, like, I'm chilling there. It's going to take me, like, 10, 15 minutes to fall back to sleep. You're, like, snoring a little bit. I know you're out. And you'll be talking in your sleep. Like, you'll say anything. I don't even have an example. Like, you'll just be like, yeah. And then yesterday, I mean, that's crazy. And I'm like, okay. Like, yeah. Yeah. And at first, like, when we were first dating, like, I thought you were truly talking to me. And I would be like, what, babe?
Wow, I'd be talking that
Dude,
much
you,
in my
You
sleep.
talk in your sleep. I used to when I was a kid because I would sleep with my mom, and my mom would always tell me, she's like, "You talk in your sleep," and I always hear you.
You definitely do talk. Like I've heard you talk in your sleep.
Yeah.
And also
Damn.
like when you're like super high and passed out, you like little grumbles and you know, say random shit. Yeah.
I know I do that shit.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You're also like you fall asleep so fast.
Yeah,
Like, do
he
you ever
does.
watch a movie with him? It's like just not a fun experience.
I think he's just old.
I fell asleep in Jaws as a kid.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in Jaws. Like everyone was like freaking out, and I fell asleep.
No,
in Jaws.
it reminds me. My best friend growing up, she just had like the lowest sleep latency. Like we would literally be like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and we put a movie on, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah!" Like opening scene, and she's passed out.
Out.
Just passed
I do.
out.
I tend to do that in theaters.
Yeah.
If we're watching it like at the crib,
Yeah.
I'm usually okay. But Juno gets tight because
Yeah.
at theaters she'll have to keep waking me up.
Yeah.
And she'll just like slap me, and then
There's-
she'll have to update me.
Yeah.
I'll pass out again. She slaps me, updates me.
I feel her because there's something about it, like I don't know why it bothers me, but I'm like, if you wanted to watch this with me, and I'm like, get up, I'm like,
Yeah,
wake
like,
up,
we're in
like,
this together.
We're watching this together. Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah, we'll be watching horror movies, and she gets mad because I fall asleep, and then she's like, "I'm."
Well, because he'll pick it. He'll be like, we're going to bed. It's like 11 o'clock. He'll be like, yeah, let's watch this horror movie, and I'm like, babe, you're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to be up watching it alone.
Yeah.
And then it'll be getting good. He's passed out. I'm like, there's someone in the house. Like, I'm like, there's someone upstairs, like, for sure. I'm not doing well at all.
I just like falling asleep to like crime or thrillers or horror. I don't know. I need like stakes. And I'm like, oh,
That's weird. That's weird.
It is weird. I'm like, I want to watch, like, SpongeBob. Like, I want to fall asleep to a peaceful vibe.
see, because if I start laughing, I'm awake. Like if I watch stand up, I'm awake. If we watch Housewives, I'm awake. I'm like, yo, what are these?
I know.
bitches
There's a
about
lot
to
going
do?
on. I feel
This
you.
shit is amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
you
the
can't
opposite. Rom-coms, all that stuff will put me to sleep. But if it's action, if it's scary, I'm like up.
That's how I am. My adrenaline. Like, I'm, like, feeling it.
Yeah.
My, like, heart is racing.
See, I'm more interested in romance, so I'm awake.
Yeah.
I'm less interested in crime and
Yeah.
violence. You know.
To get you that, like, chlamydia film to watch before sleep tonight.
Oh man. See, this is where we would put in an ad break, you know?
Yeah, if you
Ad
had
break.
an ad, it would be.
I'm curious, how long have we been talking for here? Let's check the tape, yo.
Should we do an ad for Tinactin?
26 is good. 26 is good.
Just make up an ad
you
for
know, if there's
Tinactin.
one brand that we would like to sponsor our pod, it's Tinactin. The powder spray goes on dry. Honestly, this is one of the best products. We would love to work with them because every 6 months I get like a bout of athlete's foot. You hit it with this, gone. Literally 48 hours. Your feet are crispy again.
Hit the tagline.
Tough actin Tinactin. Cures and prevents most athlete's foot. I would say all athlete's foot because I've never had an athlete's foot that like was not defeated by Tinactin. Highly recommend it.
Tinactin. It also
Tinactin.
cures chlamydia.
Yo, honestly, if you had chlamydia, I would just probably spray the Tinactin on you.
Wait, so how do you apply that though? Would it be on the outside or do you need to get
In?
In?
No, I think just the outside. Just get it frosty.
chlamydia is like up
It's in there.
It's in
It's
there?
in
It's in
there.
there?
What I think I would do if it was me personally, I would probably try to extract the liquid and like turkey baste it.
So,
up there.
so that
and
would
really,
be
like,
that goes on as a spray and
Or
it dries
like-
as a powder, right? So you would have to make a slurry of
Yeah.
the Tinactin.
Yeah.
Make a
you would have
Tinactin
to. You would
slurry.
have to douche yourself with the Tinactin.
And then douche it.
Yeah. Just like we made the slurry for the birdhouse bow.
Yep.
Make a slurry, get a little stick,
Tinactin
get
slurry.
right up in there.
Yeah, you could do that for sure, and you should probably.
Me?
Everyone,
Yeah.
just right now. If you think you might have chlamydia, I say do it.
I think you're good. I really think that this is a formality, that the testing of the chlamydia. I've been very faithful.
Yeah.
Very
for
faithful. Her mom told me when I met her mom decided in the middle of a dinner and just turns to me, she's very faithful. So like,
All of my exes.
I don't know
watching this
why
right
your
now.
mom brought it up, but I believe her.
They're like, yeah, for
I
sure.
believe her. I believe it. Faithful.
Cool. Is that a red flag though if a mom says that at like out of the blue?
I think
I think it is.
Right?
When she said it, I was like, oh, does she not like him? I was like, what's going
I was like,
on?
why are you purposely blowing her cover? Why are you bringing attention?
And the way she said it too, like we were like chilling on the couch, like watching a movie together. We just had like a nice day, probably came from dinner, and she was just like, hey guys, like, I just want to let you know, she's faithful. She's a really faithful girl. And I was like, you think that of me? Like, that's crazy.
That's like if my kid wasn't doing very good in school, like with verbal or English, I'd be like, yo, he reads pretty good.
Yeah.
Like honestly, he reads pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
he enunciates.
Like I know didn't do good on that test.
Yeah.
And maybe he fucked up a few, but he reads pretty good.
Yeah.
My boy's smart.
But he's
My boy's smart.
Wicked
Don't
smart.
talk about my boy.
My boy's wicked smart. My daughter's wicked faithful. Yeah. I was like, damn, this is wild. Your mom's like setting you up.
For sure.
That's what's
My
up.
mom's the one that called in the order for the chlamydia.
Your mom's the one that found the condom in my dad's tennis bag.
It's just always been my mom.
Yeah. Incredible.
Hun, can chlamydia get transferred to a child through birth?
I'm sure.
Oh.
Well, there's a bunch of babies being born in Texas with syphilis right now.
Ooh. It's like
They're
a
like, there's
problem.
a 200% increase in babies being born with syphilis in Texas right now.
Is that because all these poly people from San Francisco are going to Texas?
not know. But I don't know the real reason, but I do feel like that could be contributing. I actually have no idea why that's happening, but it is happening.
Wow, healthychildren.org. Chlamydia is the most commonly reported sexually transmitted infection caused by Chlamydia trachomatis bacteria. I think Tinactin actually acts against that. I will check.
It's actually like in their list.
Yeah.
Give you this for your foot.
It occurs at high rates in sexually active teenagers. A genital chlamydia infection can be spread between sexual partners during vaginal, oral, or anal sexual contact.
You can get chlamydia in your throat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
An infected mother can pass it on to her newborn child. In fact, about 50% of infants delivered vaginally to infected mothers get chlamydia. A smaller number delivered by cesarean birth also get the disease.
Well, yeah, I mean, the baby's literally
Going through that.
lathered in your vagina. So it's like if you have something, the baby's getting it. I think it's the same thing with like HIV and herpes and all of these things. I don't know.
Thank
for
God
sure.
we have Tinactin.
I don't know for sure, but I know you can definitely pass things to your child.
Thank God we have tough actin Tinactin. Slurries.
We're gonna have to spray the kid down when he comes out. It's just like before the doctor even smacks him, you know, you just gotta douse him, coat it real nice with
As the
Tinactin.
baby's coming out of me, Eddie has the Tinactin. And he just sprays the baby
Yeah.
like a rope.
I'm gonna be in the delivery room with 2 bottles.
Yeah, 2
clipped
bottles.
up.
I was just gonna say,
I'm gonna be
you
like
gotta do
Chow
2.
Yun Fat with 2 guns up. Just
There with the camera, Eddie turns to the camera and he's like, Tinactin.
yeah.
And that's it.
I would love a Tinactin sponsorship.
And we're
Seriously.
paid for life.
It's a partnership. It's a long-term partnership. We still got a few months to go. Don't worry.
We don't know how many babies there's going to be.
Yeah.
Tinactin
Maybe
is like-
there's more than one chlamydia babies that we need to Tinactin.
I mean, if I got extra in the can, I'll help out the people in the next delivery room. I'm very generous.
Going
Community
around
guy.
the ward.
We got to get the family-sized Tinactin.
Yeah, I'm very civic minded.
You know how they put all the babies in that room and like they're
Oh, you could just
He just
crop
is
dust
in
the
there.
whole room.
He's just in there spraying it.
Get up in the air vents and just
Yeah.
Tinactin it
It's
up.
hilarious.
So you know how we were gonna have Nick Ketchdubs DJ the wedding?
Yeah.
I forgot to tell him there was no wedding. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, bro, your wedding's still happening in 3 weeks."
Is he like coming?
And I was like, "Yo, my bad. I forgot. She got pregnant, so there's no wedding." He's like, "Mazel." You remember Nick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Nick's
sure.
the fucking
What
best.
up, Nick?
But sorry, you were saying, babe. You were saying you told.
When we were telling people there was like no wedding, we obviously weren't telling people why.
Yeah.
And I was just coming up with these like elaborate fake lies why. And I was like, it's just a really crazy year. Like I was like, everyone I think was just like looking at me and they're like, it's okay. Like I think they thought we were like breaking up.
Yeah.
They're like, it's okay. Like don't worry about it. Like it's fine.
The Fed keeps raising interest rates. It's like really hectic. Really hectic. We're gonna wait till inflation goes back down to 2%.
Yeah.
Really. That's what we should tell people.
Yeah.
It's
So we
just
have
like-
to go to Lolo though because I did tell Lori, like I just was like, yeah, it's the wedding's off and she's the woman who owns the restaurant we were getting married at. And I there was like no explanation because I was like I can't do this over like Instagram DM. So
We gotta remember to hit it. Can you tell Lori after the pod today? Like let's send her a photo because we love Lori.
No, I know.
We love Lori. I didn't know that.
You can't tell people you're pregnant that early, especially
No,
when
you
you have a
can't.
history of like things going bad.
Knock on wood. Yeah, knock on wood. Knock on everybody. Lori, shouts to Lori. Lolo Wine Bar. We're still gonna have our wedding there at some point.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah,
have
yeah.
when you can do Molly and
That was
inflation
the big,
comes
yeah.
down.
I mean, that was a real
We'll
reason.
be at Lolo,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
not
I'm
eating the
excited.
steak we ordered. Pretty much. I love that restaurant.
Me too. It's my favorite.
They let Killa go there.
Yeah.
They give Killa steak when she goes there.
We have to go. We have to take Evan
Yeah.
and your fam because honestly, it's our favorite spot. in
My
LA.
favorite spot.
Like, just the food's great, but just to hang out. Like, I just
Yep.
love going there. I love seeing everyone. They're so sweet.
The chef's amazing. I love him. He came to our house.
he
We
is
did
so
the whole
sweet.
thing. And then
We like made a menu.
yeah.
And he came and cooked all the food menu, and it was amazing.
First bite of steak Killa ever had was at Lolo Wine Bar.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
Family.
No,
Best.
truly. Like, that's our fam.
Yep. So Lolo, we'll take you to Lolo. What other restaurants, Evan? All right, when you were in China, what were the cuisines you missed the most? Let's go. Actually, what are the restaurants, bites of food, top 5 bites of food you missed the most in China?
I don't know if I can punch out like 5 restaurants.
Yeah, you can. 5 just
Cuisines
of
or like
foods,
types
dishes,
of food.
dishes.
All right, Jamaican oxtail number 1. Persian rices, right? Just all of them, like saffron rices, raisins, nuts, all that. I would say number 3, probably like the beef shawarma at Belady in East Village.
Oh.
The Brussels sprouts at Alili in Flatiron.
Brussels
Yo,
sprouts?
the Brussels sprouts at Alili in Flatiron with yogurt sauce and fig jam is really fire.
Wow.
Yeah. And then number 6, I don't know.
This dude likes technical outerwear and a technical dish.
Yeah. It's like mostly, it's like Jamaican food and then all Middle Eastern
You
food.
like tactical
and number
ninja
5,
fits
for
and
sh-
food.
For sure, number 5 would be the Suantang Feño at Sichuan Mountain House in St. Mark's.
Oh my god, Szechuan Mountain House is my shit.
Yeah, dude.
I love Szechuan Mountain
I'm so
House.
happy you know about that.
Wow, you miss Chinese food in China.
So when I was living in Sichuan and in the last 4 years I've been in China, I've been trying to find it's like a sour beef soup, basically, right? I've been trying to find a dish that beats Sichuan Mountain
Bro,
Houses.
I do sour
You don't
cabbage
know.
beef noodle
No,
soup.
You don't understand.
I don't understand.
They
I
ferment
fucking
their
understand.
own.
I fucking
They
understand.
don't. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He hasn't been there.
I've been to Szechuan Mountain House. All right, tell us about this dish.
They don't make it. It's not like a traditional Sichuan style of making it.
It's
Like
the way they do it.
yeah, the way they do it, they have home pickled cabbage.
Yeah.
That's what actually provides the sourness, not suancai, not pickled mustard greens.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different type of sour.
No, I use sauerkraut.
Could be
See?
interesting.
See?
Yeah.
Or continue, sir.
And then
continue with this.
They
dish
have
I've
like a
never
very
heard of.
special pepper. It's like a Hong Tin Long pepper. It's like a red lantern pepper. It's just like this big joint, and they float it in there, and they ask you if you want to open the pepper or not. Yeah, if you want it crazy spicy, you open the pepper. If not, it still gives some flavor. And they put milk in the soup.
Okay, that's fly.
It's
This
really
is fly. This is fly.
And they soak the meat. They soak the raw, like thin sliced fatty beef in warm water for like what looks like days, because like there's absolutely no blood in it, so the meat comes out looking white. The beef is like white. Yeah, it's really really well done.
Feño.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this. We got to go try that.
It's very very
That's
well
different than the
done.
one that sounds good.
Hands down, I have not found anything in China that compares. Whether like it's Michelin Sichuan restaurants in Sichuan, in Chengdu, or casual, like nothing compares.
There's
to that
not
dish.
great Szechuan food in LA.
Oh.
There's like one spot that I've been to, and it was okay. It wasn't bad, but I was
Yeah.
just like, it wasn't great.
Yeah, there used to be one in Roland Heights called like Huang, which like Chef Yubo took me to, and then also our Bobo took us to. Our uncle took us to back in the day at Toothpick Lamb. But you're right, like Nouveau Szechuan, there's a lot of places that like get recognition, but I'd much rather eat at Szechuan Mountain House
For sure.
in New York.
For sure.
Much better. They got good Taiwanese food out here. I actually think the Taiwanese food is good here, and then Thai food is great here. Korean food is great here. But so to recap, you missed Jamaican oxtail 1.
Yep.
2 was the shawarma from Belay.
Persian rices.
Oh yeah, Persian rice.
Yeah.
Persian rice. Yeah.
And then 3 would be like Belady, the
Yeah.
beef shawarma sandwich from Belady in East Village, and then Brussels sprouts from Alili
Yeah.
in Flatiron, and then 5.
All right,
Suantang
Persian.
Feño.
What we're gonna take you to get those Persian rice, because there's a delivery place here called Golden Rice. They make the best tadig I've had, with like the roasted chicken. It's really fucking good. So we'll get Golden Rice. Remember that was the first day you moved to LA. I got that. For
I
you.
didn't know when I was moving here, but yeah, I like came
Yeah.
over, and I remember you like sent me a picture, and I was like, save me some. Like it looked so good. It was amazing.
Like there's actually really good Middle Eastern food in China because there's a lot of Turkish people in China, but I'm much more of a fan of Persian food and Lebanese food.
Same.
So that they don't have much of that at all in China.
And we make a lot of Greek food at home now.
We do.
Oh, nice.
You and your mom.
Yeah. But I mean, there's amazing Persian food here.
Yeah.
For sure. We have to take him to Mini Kebab.
Mini kebab's incredible. Best kebab in LA.
We just went
I saw
there
photos the other
and
day.
it
Yeah.
was
Incredible.
great.
Julius was there too.
I know Julius was with us.
Jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. But no, I was gonna say it's funny. Like everything you just named is what we eat. We like eat Middle Eastern food, Jamaican food,
Yup.
and Asian food.
When I was in Taiwan, the thing I missed the most was, number one was like a place to go and get like buffalo wings. The number two was like an al pastor taco. Like, you just couldn't get anything close to it. Jamaican oxtail was number three for me, but I could make it, but still I like to roll up and get it. Puerto Rican lechon was like number four. And then I'd have to say number five was probably Persian fezajun, the like pomegranate chicken with tadig. Like my boy Omid's dad makes it. My favorite version is Omid's dad's version. That shit is fire. But those were the dishes. Like that's what I miss. You know, it was really, really interesting once I got over there.
Yeah.
And then like you want pizza and you want bagels, but in a way they're just not as high up on my list as like those things.
Yeah, and actually, like Shanghai and Chengdu, the two cities I spent the most time in China, they actually do pizza really well. Yeah. Like they got Joe's Pizza from New York, like franchised out there. But Shanghai's like best pizza is like probably home slice, and it's like a New York style pizza, and it's fantastic.
Wow.
Like legitimately, it's good.
See, I didn't eat no pizza in Taiwan. I just looked at it and I was like,
Taiwan's
nah.
trash, bro.
Yeah.
Taiwan's pizza is so bad.
It wasn't good.
No.
But the thing for me, I think, is like, I also miss the vibe of dining in America when I'm in Asia. And then in America, I miss the vibe of Asia, which is, I think Asia does really, really high end very well and actually at an affordable price point. And they do really cheap street food, like just huts and tents really well. And America doesn't have that because all the like laws about like street food and patio dining are like archaic and foul. Like your city would be much cooler if it had more street dining and using space better. But then the casual American restaurant is missing. Like a bar to go hang out and eat at, and that's like informal and you could just be like a moron in there. You don't really have that in Asia. They don't do like the mid-casual dining.
Yeah, like cities like Shanghai will have it, but it's always either like a big, huge, big box spot, right, where they're like trying to do like a TJ Fridays type vibe, or it's like, you know, an expat guy that just is there running his own like, you know, small kind of bar. Yeah. It's not. It doesn't really hit that mid-range vibe.
Yeah. Even that like restaurant that's the neighborhood restaurant you love, like Lolo Wine Bar, or like Il Cantinori in New York, you know, or like even something like a Dr. Clark in Chinatown. They just don't have that in Asia. Besides, I think the only place that has that neighborhood feel, old-timey, is like Old Jesse in Shanghai. Lao Jishi.
Yeah. Shanghai has a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chengdu needs it a little bit more, I feel. It would be cool. That's
Chengdu people, their like tastes are really particular. So they like their style of Chinese food, Sichuan food. Yeah. And then so there's not that much of a expat community there. Yeah. So you don't get a lot of that variety. Yeah. Like you'll get some kids that went to school abroad and they'll come back and do like French Culinary Institute type food.
But even like, I would just like to have Chinese restaurants that are that vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be French food. I'd be down if it was like Sichuan food, but in that setting of like a vibey restaurant, you know, where it's not just about the food, but it's about the people in the community that hang there.
Yeah, yeah. The problem is there's so much competition in China, and like restaurants' life cycles are very short there. Yeah. So like a restaurant will blow up, it'll be really popular for like a year and a half, and then people move on. Like there's not like, it's always the old classics that last a long time, but the younger, more trendy ones, they cycle out really quickly.
Yeah. It's a weird era.
It's hard. It's tough to do business there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you happy to be back here?
I'm really happy to be back just because I haven't been in the US for so long, and like my whole way of life and everything was definitely adjusted to China. So I mean, I went to Jersey Mike's like 2 hours ago, and I was like,
God.
I've never eaten Jersey Mike's. I've never eaten Jersey Mike's. Like after like, you know, growing up on Quiznos and Subway, I'm like, I don't want this Jersey Mike shit. Yeah. But I went in and had a tuna sandwich. I was like, this is me. This is America. I feel at home.
That's some shit I miss too, like a tuna melt.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even get the ingredients to make your own that you want over there.
Yeah, that's like a distinctly American thing.
Yeah. One guy named Duke Wu, made me a phenomenal tuna melt when I was in Taiwan because he went to like the fancy grocery store, got capers, got cornichons, and he made the tuna just like I like to make it. You know, I chop up the cornichons, I chop up the banana peppers, the capers, and he did it with like this crusty sourdough bread too. I was like, this shit is fire. So shouts to Duke Lou. Great tuna melt. When you're in Greece, like what's the dining like in Greece?
It's very much the same. Like you can get a lot of the same things. Like there's a Chipotle equivalent. There's all the same fast food. I mean, there's definitely things that I miss. Like you're not gonna get good Jamaican food in Greece. Like you're not gonna get certain things. But I think I just enjoy, and I've never spent 4 years there, so I've just never gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm over this. Yeah. Like I just enjoy Greek cafe food, which is a lot of just, it's kind of like street food in the way that if you go to like a taverna, you're gonna get a Greek salad, you're gonna get souvlaki, you're gonna get all the things that you would have at home. It's like Greek home style cooking, which is just nice.
Yeah.
I don't get sick of it. But yeah, I never like come back craving anything crazy.
I never get sick of Middle Eastern food or like home food from most cultures. Like home food is just like meant to be eaten 10,000 times.
Like I think the last time I was in Greece, like I would even, if I wasn't going out, like I would even like order a gyro to the house. And I was like, yeah, I'll just order this. Like I'm not gonna order anything else. But yeah.
It's gonna be good there.
Yeah. But that's the thing, Greece does a lot of, like what you're saying is lacking in Asia, that like mid-tier, kind of just like you're hanging out, it's about the community. That's like all Greece is.
Yeah.
And they have some fine dining, but if you're not on an island and you're in like Athens, that's what you're gonna get. If you're in a village, you're just getting, like that's the vibe. It's just like, it's one restaurant, everyone's there every night, and that you're just gonna see the same people.
If I could like live in any eating cities, Taipei is number 1 for me, to be honest. Chengdu's number 2. Tokyo's number 3. But I would never want to be there for more than 6 months because I think to really live, I think LA's food scene is my favorite, to be honest, because you get the most variety. Yeah. And like it's spread out a bunch of different neighborhoods where you won't get bored. And like I just think LA has the most variety, and that's the thing that like gets me keep coming back to America.
I agree, but I also feel like when I first started spending a lot of time in LA, I was kind of like a New York snob, and I did not want to admit that. I was like, the food in New York is better. I like the food in New York better. And then now, I think the food in LA is better.
It's better. I really like the people in New York the best. Yeah. And the way the city's laid out, the best. Like New York culture, everything, the best city. But if you're breaking it down to like food, I prefer LA. I really do. And I think one of the most annoying things is when New York people come to LA and just shit on what it is. And I'm like, it's not New York. Like, you just have to let it go. Yeah. But like, once you're here for 2 years, you let it go. Because I'm the same as you. I came and I'm like, dude, it's so hard to make friends here. These people are fugazes. And like, dude, they don't know how to drive. They don't know how to cross a street. Like, it's like, bro, come on. Like, I'm just trying to make a left turn here. And then there's somebody in like a costume, like on fucking AirPods, like filming themselves walking real slow across a crosswalk at like 3 p.m. Like, LA is so easy to hate. Yeah, it's so easy to be a hater here of like everything. And I do it all the time. I'm like the number 1 hater of everything in LA. Yeah.
No, I definitely hit that vibe while I was eating Jersey Mike's. I like went outside. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. There's sunlight. And I'm sitting on this like park bench thing. And I was just like, damn, people look dumb here.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of people that genuinely look like they're lost.
Yeah. But there's beautiful shit to LA. You have to treat LA like you're treating cancer. Basically just like cut the parts out that you don't like. Like, I refuse to drive in this city like between 9 and 11, and then between like basically I'd say 4 to 9, I'm not driving, you know? Or if I'm driving, I'm going 15 minutes down the hill and that's it. Like, I'm not going cross fucking town. And then it's just certain social things that you know are not going to be fun. You got to stop. Like, branded events here, unconscionable. New York, you could go to like a branded event like at the Woolrich store, and it's like, that'll actually be okay. Like, you'll see friends there. It'll be cool.
Like, the event will be whatever, but outside on the sidewalk, it'll be fun.
Yeah. You can have like there's like life outside of the event. I feel like in LA, it's like whatever you're doing is so insular, and then there's just no life outside of it.
Yeah.
Like you're pulling up, and then it's like you don't have a next move. Where in New York, it's just organically like everyone's hanging out on the sidewalk, and then you walk down the street.
Yeah, that's
grab
the
a
best
drink or,
part.
like,
That's
go
the
do
best
whatever.
part.
Yeah, New York, it's dope. You go, people don't expect too much of you. They're just like happy you came. You go smoke a joint or a cigarette outside. You find your 5 friends there. And you're like, let's go to Noodletown, right? Yeah. Super easy. LA, you come and like 35% of the event is like, this is my moment to meet somebody. This is my fucking moment, because they like watched, I don't know, some fucking film about LA, and it's like the Olympics for people, like a branded event. I'm like, this is a store opening. Like they're just selling $30 t-shirts, LA's fucking nuts like that.
Yeah.
They watch La La Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seen too much.
And it's the only city that's this bad about it. You go to a store opening in DC, it's like fine.
That's one of the things I hated about Shanghai. I love Shanghai as a city, but one of the things about like the scene there is every branded event, like people there, influencers there take themselves so seriously. They'll roll up with like a crew, with like a camera crew. Each influencer will have their own photographer, and they'll just be like all about the photos. They're all up in the exhibit or in the store. Like security staff will like keep all the peons at bay while the celebrity walks through. It's just like real elitist when it comes to celebrity there.
It's corny.
It's so
like,
corny.
They're like a little too like intentional with becoming celebrity in China.
Yeah, and then like
Taiwan.
the real people, like real fans and stuff, know that it's all like super, superficial, and it's just overdone. So then like there's like a real gap between down to earth like KOL or KOC influencers and then the like celebrities.
Yeah.
They're like completely out of touch, but events in the cities get dominated by these just like super out of touch people.
Yeah.
It's whack.
I think this generation of Asians, which is funny, is just like we approach everything from the perspective of like school or homework. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want to be a DJ, your mom's going to send you to a school or get you classes. Like if you want to be famous, you're like, I'm going to work hard on it. And like, I'm going to like have a plan and a strategy and a team. And it's like, yo, dude, maybe you want to do this like more organically, like through your work, perhaps, or like through something you have to share.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just the younger generation like coming up, because the goal is like there is a formula. Like we've seen it with people, and it's easy for like these young kids to be like, oh, this is what you do.
Well, yeah, like Asian entertainment, like Korea had a huge influence, right? Like Korea's like the formula is very like intentional. They crank out like the whole industry is geared towards building, like producing talent that way. But like China is so big. It's obviously it's got so many people. So you do have corners of the internet where you have some really interesting organic characters that aren't beautiful, go out with no makeup. There's, just real people. And those people are actually the ones that are like gaining real influence now. But then like celebrities are just completely
I should like
detached.
not overgeneralize, because there are like it was almost like two schools of it when I was there in Taiwan for a year.
Yeah.
And it was like, there were the people who were like kind of like the private school richer kids, and they were very like influenced by Korean entertainment. We're like, we're gonna make this a business and become famous. Like there was a dude literally that brought a camera crew to film an old man basketball like pickup run. And I was like, dude, we stink at basketball. And he's like interviewing people, and he's like, Eddie, do you want to like talk about like love for basketball? What'd you think? And I was like, no, I don't. And he got mad, and he was like, you think you're too good for this? I'm like, like, do you really want me to answer that? Because I'm a dick. And he's like, what? You think you're too good? I'm like, I think everyone's too good for this. Is ridiculous. Like you're filming people playing basketball that aren't good at basketball. Like, who wants to watch this? But then on the other side, I met really cool kids who like, they were more like street kids. They grew up, their moms had jobs in the mall, so they wandered around the mall and became mall rats. And they got like little crews and things. And I was like, these kids are cool because their interest wasn't in being famous. Their interest was in subculture. And I think that is the point that I'm trying to say is like globally, right? I wish it was just about people's interests and not about trying to become famous, because it is.
Totally, but I think like it is now just about being famous.
It's a business.
For a lot of people, because it just that's kind of like young kids growing up. And I think now the trend, you ask like a kid in school if you ask them what they want to be, they're like a YouTuber, or like an influencer, or something. That's just the new goal. So when I was growing up, it was like you wanted to be like a pop star, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
But like now, it's just the influencer has more like weight.
Yeah. I wanted to play for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Or the Commanders.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a great first pod. I feel like we did good. I have to take a shit, so this is a great stopping point.
This is a wrap.
But Evan, thank you so much for being our first guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Meant to be. Family came back. I haven't seen my family in 3 years, so this is very special.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad you guys got to listen in on this hang. And then in future episodes, we got the big homie Benny Blanco. We got Zach Fox. We got Dr. Wu, Pia Baroncini, Elena Bergeron, longtime best friend, and then Reggie Watts. So this is very exciting. That's our initial lineup. Please tune in every week. Help us pay our bills because we're in debt to the gyno. Yeah.
We are. We are.